of h of x. Okay, we're going to bring down the f of. I'm going to replace this in here with the x minus 4 over 2. Now with what we have left, this tells me that I need to go up here to the 2x to the negative 1, and I'm going to replace this x with what's in the parentheses. Just a quick reminder, domain right now could be anything, so it's all reals so far. Now I'm going to bring down this 2. I'm going to take out this x, and I'm going to replace it. Since I'm replacing it with a fraction, I'm going to go ahead and put parentheses around it. But that now has to be still to the negative 1. Now, these 2's cannot be factored out yet because I have an exponent on this fraction. What I need to do first, if you remember with negative 1 exponents, what that really does is it flips the fraction, because it would make the top to the negative 1, it would make the bottom to the negative 1, which would then in reverse just go ahead and it basically be the reciprocal. So I'm going to rewrite this as 2 over x minus 4, and then it would be to the first. And of course I don't need to write that. Now up here, the domain could still be everything, but now that the x goes to the denominator, what would make the denominator 0 if x was 4? So off to the side, I'm going to put down x cannot be 4. Okay, so the domain cannot have a 4 in it. Now if I were to simplify this, think of this as 2 over 1. So if I multiplied straight across, this would be 4 over 1 times x minus 4 is x minus 4. Okay, that's simplified as far as we can go. Now again, in the denominator, I still have x minus 4, so x still can't be 4. So when I write my domain, again, it'll be all reals, this time not equal to 4. All reals not equal to 4. G of f of x. First, let's plug the f of x in. So this will be g of 2x to the negative 1. Now I'm going to go to the g equation. I'm going to bring down the 2. We take out this x, and we're going to put 2x to the negative 1 in its place. Bring down the plus 5. Okay, now here, x kind of can be anything, but it kind of can't. I'm going to go ahead and take care of this step down here, because if I were to rewrite this, this would really be, remember to keep 2 on the top, x to the positive 1 goes to the bottom. Okay, so up here, right here, and here, x would really be in the denominator, and since it's x to the first in the denominator, x can't be 0. So again, off to the side, I'm just going to write a note to myself, x cannot be 0. Continuing on, I'm going to simplify. 2 times 2 is 4, so this will be 4 over x plus 5. That is simplified as far as we can go. X still can't be 0. So there's a couple ways you can write this. For domain, you could say all non-zero reals, or you could say all reals not equal to 0. Either way would be fine. All reals not equal to 0, or all non-zero reals. H of f of x. Let's plug in. This will be h of 2x to the negative 1. Okay. And now we go to h of x. I'm going to take out this x right here, and I'm going to put 2x to the negative 1 in its place, minus 4 over 2. Okay. Now, if I were going to rewrite this, it would be 2 over x minus 4 over 2. That is pretty confusing. But if you do look, x is in the denominator, just like it really should have been here and here because of the negative 1 exponent. So my note off to the side is going to be x cannot equal 0. Okay, so let's keep that note. Continuing on. Really the easiest way for me to show you how to do this, this is really a fraction within a fraction. So if I'm going to simplify this, the easiest way to do it is to multiply everything in here by x. When you multiply everything in a fraction by the same thing, it's like multiplying by 1, because it's really like multiplying x over x, which is 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, for this problem, I'm going to multiply this by x, I'm going to multiply this by x, I'm going to multiply this by x, and then you'll see what happens. These x's will factor out, which leaves me with 2 minus 4x in the numerator over 2x in the denominator. Now that's almost simplified. The only thing I notice here is in this term, this term, this term, I can take a 2 out of all of those. So my simplified version of this problem is going to be 1 minus 2x over 1x. That would be the simplified form of that fraction. Now remember, for the domain, it was everything except 0. And that's still the same even with my answer, even with this up here. I can have anything up here, but I can't have 0 in the denominator here, can't have 0 in the denominator here. So it's all reals not equal to 0. Make sure you state the domain. Okay, and this is the last problem we're going to do together. We've got g of x. To start out with, I'm going to keep the g of, I'm going to replace g of x with 2x plus 5. Okay, now I'm going to go back to g of x. I'm going to bring down the 2. I'm going to take out this x. I'm going to replace it with 2x plus 5. And then we still need to bring down the plus 5. Okay, so far, domain can be all reals. Now we're going to distribute 4x plus 10 plus 5, still can be all reals. Combine like terms, 4x plus 15, that's as far as we can go. And then again, x can still be all reals, so my domain is all reals. And that concludes 6.3 Part B, and there's going to be a worksheet for the assignment with this.